The Giants are plugging up the holes with fat guys. And our NFL Insider says execs are drooling about the Jets draft. We'll break it down, talk all about it. The Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital live on a Wednesday starts right now.
Let's go! It's time for the talk to you. Cause it's all we're gonna do. If all green is always on the sea, it was gonna always bring to life. So get ready. Get ready, cause here they come.
All right, welcome aboard, everybody. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Sorry we're a little late this morning. Technical difficulties, as they say. But we're here. Don't worry. We'll give you your money's worth for sure. There's our YouTube link, youtube.com/@MC Show Digital. Like the video on your way in, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well. Memberships available as well. Oh my God, we're like not even started, and memberships are being gifted. Boy Green, we'll get into that in just a second. We are presented by our friends at Northeast Roofing Professionals. Today's video, appropriately brought to you by our friends at the Allen Floral Group, with 5 florists here in Central New York. Mother's Day, 5 days away. It's this Sunday, fellas, this Sunday. All right. So please get your mom some flowers and use our friends at the Allen Floral Group. Just go to allenfloralgroup.com and we will hear a little bit more from our friends at Allen Floral Group, specifically creative florists, a little bit later in the show. Good morning, Boy Green. How are you?
I'm doing great. NFL execs are drooling over Jets draft haul. Sounds like a great show to me, baby. Woo!
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, this is like a propaganda show today. I'll have to ask our insider in a moment whether this is propaganda or not. But I do see we have a gifted membership by number 1 Austrian Jets fan. Thanks as always for your generosity. Give him a hell yeah there, Boy Green.
Hell yeah.
All right. I'll even give him some more. Here, let me give him some more Terry Tate. Here you go. How about this one?
You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard. That ain't new, baby.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice. Mother...
Janice, love it. All right, let's bring in our NFL Insider to break this all down today. Boy Green, you'll tell us in a minute who that gifted membership goes to. I know you're looking it up right now. Matt Lombardo from Between the Hash Marks on Substack. What's up, Matthew? How are you today? Let me bring you in. Boy Green's texting. He usually bringing everybody in. I'll bring you in. Go ahead.
Yes.
What's up, boys? Hey, it's always great to follow Terry Tate, right? I mean, I still remember back in the day watching the Super Bowl commercials and, imitating all of the great one-liners. So congrats on the new membership, but keep the Terry Tates coming. The office linebacker is an all-pro for me.
And very fitting here, Matt Lombardo. That membership went to NCNY Jets fan, perhaps North Carolina, New York Jets fan, and they should be fired up for today's show. Again, to Lurch's point, is this mere propaganda? Is this just a nonsense?
So Austrian giving a gift to North Carolina Jets fan. Wow, this is really a juxtaposition of strangeness here on this morning show. What a way to start the show. Let's talk about it, Matt. I saw you wrote the piece on Between the Hash Marks about how execs really are quite impressed, dare I say. I said, use the word drooling. If you want to use that word, you can. We have a little dinosaur drooling graphic on our video today. But what is it that execs are saying about this Jets draft and why they like it so much?
Yeah, to address the propaganda angle, first of all here, I think that there's a lot of value in what people like us think about the draft, people who are, covering the sport, and we've watched these guys in college. But I think it's even more essential when you have the ability to find out what the folks inside the war rooms who build the draft boards, who have studied these players for 1, 2, 3 years over their collegiate career, think about not only these guys as prospects, but how they fit their new situations. And when you think about the Jets and you talk to people inside the league about the Jets, you hear right off the bat, they were able to come away with 3 first-round picks. They talk about the fact that even Cade Klubnik is a high-value lottery ticket in round 4. And it goes back to the philosophy that I've talked about on this show, that I've written about. The Jets have the 3 first-round picks in their arsenal next year, so they're more than well-armed to go up and get whoever the number 1 quarterback is next year, whether it's Lenora Sellers, Arch Manning, Dante Moore, whoever. But if you're able to play Cade Klubnik over the second half of this year, and he shows you what, say, a Tyler Shough showed the New Orleans Saints, down the stretch of this past season, now you have a decision to make. Now you have 3 first-round picks to continue getting blue-chip talent to build around Klubnik if you decide to go down that road. So I think people really like the fact that they gave themselves optionality. There's a lot of optimism about the Sadiq pick and what that means for the offense. There's a lot of optimism about the Omar Cooper pick and what that means for the future of the wide receiver position and the future of the quarterback position. So I think just acquiring the amount of talent that they did, I think that turned a lot of heads inside the league.
That is fascinating, Matt, to hear that in hindsight now, a lot of insiders / experts / guys that study the draft are saying that Klubnik is a great little possible lottery ticket, because I watched Cade Klubnik play at Clemson last year, and every time they needed a clutch play, he threw it to the other team. Okay, when did that all flip? I mean, what are we going back to junior years now to talk about how good guys are? I mean, when the Jets picked him, I was like, what? Seriously? What's his name from LSU is still on the board? I'm forgetting his name right now. I'm sorry.
Garrett Nussmeier. He went in the 7th round, man.
7th round.
Nussmeier's still on the board. Other guys that actually did perform in the clutch, but Cade Klubnik is a great roll of the dice. It sounds like propaganda to me, Matt. Sounds like propaganda.
You got to remember going into this past draft, right? Thinking about coming off of the 2024 college football season, what was the conversation? The conversation was Drew Aller or Cade Klubnik as your potential number 1 overall pick. So you're getting Cade Klubnik in the 4th round, coming out of a situation at Clemson where they really struggled. They've really struggled under Dabo Swinney, adapting to the NIL landscape, adapting to bringing in the kind of high-end receiver talent that a guy like Klubnik may need. Listen, I don't think he's a first-round pick. I think he played his way out of that number 1 overall conversation this past year, but the traits are still there. When you talk to people who are general managers and college scouting directors and scouts who are on the road pounding the pavement for 20 weeks out of the year, whether it's at games, at pro days, whatever, these guys are focused on traits. And I think that they see the traits and the, quote, starting caliber ability of Cade Klubnik, getting him in the 4th round. That's tremendous value, just like I think the Steelers got tremendous value getting Drew Aller in the 3rd round. When you can look at the traits like the big arm for Aller, some of the deep ball accuracy, if you can just get the consistency there in Pittsburgh, you might have something to work with. If you can just fix the footwork from Klubnik, if you could just build his confidence back up, if you can get the accuracy a little bit better, if you're trying to build around pedigree, Klubnik and Aller have that in a way that a lot of the quarterbacks in this class didn't. Now, they weren't first-round prospects on what they put on film, but in the right environment, the right system, the right coaching staff, like Frank Reich, like what they're starting to build there with the pass catchers they've assembled, which is a significant upgrade with what they had with Garrett Wilson and a bunch of no-names last year, you might be able to get something of value out of Cade Klubnik, and certainly 4th-round value at that.
So in other words, Matt Lombardo, you want me to hand this warm glass of shut the hell up, Manchild, okay? That's what he's talking about, did I? Don't challenge Cade Klubnik, okay? Our franchise quarterback, how did he even fall to the 4th round? That's my question as we secured our guy. So Matt Lombardo, next stop Super Bowl, baby? Huh?
Maybe in 2030.
See what you've started.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
You started, Matt. You sure you want to go down this road of propaganda?
Oh wait, is that? Oh, we're here, baby.
I let him get away with enough on this show, but I'm not gonna stand idly when I think that picks are somewhat sketchy. That now people are calling whoa, hey, look at what we got. I mean, Klubnik was terrific as a junior, terrific. Okay,
it was awesome,
and he was horrific as a senior, and I'm not hiding that.
He was hurt.
He was horrific as a senior. Okay, you want to blame it on his team? Fine, blame it on his team. Sounds like excuses to me. Kind of sounds like your boy Brown. Yeah, your Celtic boy Brown. That's
stop.
Those were charges. I mean, come on, the guy's flopping. He's flopping. Oh,
you're defending of all people, Joel Embiid, saying that he doesn't flop.
The fact that this guy's crying spilt milk after his team
made the difference. He was the difference maker in that series. Peace out, Boston. Peace out. Peace out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
3 in a row, 2 in their own building with a superstar who everybody wanted to hand the MVP over to earlier this season. Give him the MVP. And then he also, I don't know if you caught this one. Sorry, I'm in basketball here for a moment, but I must.
No, please. Go ahead.
Just bleeding into this.
I'm out of basketball mode now, but go ahead.
Did you hear what he said? He said, Brown said this was his favorite season as a Celtic. He said
After
this
the fact?
He said this like a couple of days ago, yesterday or the day before. He said this was his favorite season as a Celtic. His favorite season. His running mate was out most of the season. Okay,
so he got the rock. He
round.
got to be the man.
Favorite season ever as a Celtic. Oh my goodness, this
that's very selfish.
A few years ago, this is his favorite season. Oh boy, good for you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't love that comment. I know Matt Lombardo's our NFL insider, not our NBA insider. So I'm sure he doesn't, we'll see what the Celtics do. The question for the Celtics will be this: do you run the group back and keep Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown together and say, because think about this with, they've been to the finals 2 of the last 5 years. That's pretty good. Then 40%. That'll get you into the Hall of Fame in a lot of sports. If you're shooting 40%, that's not too shabby. Or they blow it up and go get Giannis or something. We'll see what happens. So that could be crazy. But Matt, let me just make sure I clarify this because I'm appropriately in the middle then. You're a 76ers guy?
Yeah, I mean, I only have so much sports bandwidth. I'm not going to be breaking down the Sixers depth chart in January. You're not going to see me at the Xfinity Mobile Arena for a Sixers versus Bulls game on a Wednesday in March. But when the playoffs start up, I'm all in. It's one of those type of things, I'll enjoy it when the runs start, but I just don't have the ability to put so much sports bandwidth into following them consistently.
Okay. Hey, Matt, hold on 1 second. Just 2 things, Matt. This will determine whether you're a true Philadelphia sports fan. Okay? This will determine. Okay. All right?
Well, okay.
Were you in the Spectrum for the 2 Rocky fights? All right? And have you ever seen a Sixers game in the Spectrum? The old Spectrum. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, I believe Rocky was filmed before I was born, right? So I could not have been in the Spectrum, but I did see a Philadelphia Phantoms game at the Spectrum. I saw 3 Springsteen concerts from the lower level in the Spectrum. Nice. So I've been in the building. 3 of the 25 Springsteen shows I've been to were in that great arena. So yeah. Approved.
So before they take down, you've been in the building. All right. Matt, I'll give you that, Matt. I forgot your age. I'm sorry.
Any trash talk here that you want to give over to Manchild, the Knicks boy over there? Like that he thinks they're just going to run through you and punch another ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I mean, they won by the Knicks won by 40 the other night. So I'm in no position to trash talk. I'm going to lay low. The Flyers are playing with house money after they dispatched his Penguins. So I'm cool with that. Whatever happens from here is bonus hockey. But we'll see who's talking trash next Wednesday on the show. We'll see what happens after the series comes back to Philly.
By the way,
39 just to let you know, Matt. Just to remind you, it's 39.
Okay, good.
I just don't want to overreach. Right, it's 39.
Yeah. Thanks for the specific nature. Shout out to Dunk Lloyd, who said, "For men listening in the United Kingdom like he is, it's not Mother's Day again. Relax." Smart. Okay, good. For
they do it earlier in the UK, huh? I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is this Sunday, May 10th here in the States. I know that we have international listeners, as we saw earlier with number 1 Austrian Jets fan, and someone else did a super chat with us last week in euros. You had to explain to me, Boy Green, that 2 euros equals $3. I was going to give a bonus raffle ticket. Boy said, you don't have to. That is $3 in America.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I didn't know that.
So, let me lay the cards on the table here. Normally, I'm not a
currency conversion rate. Yeah.
Right. A currency translation conversion rate guy of having that beep, boop, bop, $3 in peso equals this in American. Yeah, I normally don't have that information, but because actually I have so many listeners and viewers, that's my flex. So many people love me, obviously. But I actually have a few people that Euro super chat. So I had to look up the conversion rate previously to be aware of what that meant for American. And so that information is in the brain. I don't know when that will ever come in handy, right? Or me and Matt on, a wild vacation in Europe. He's like, God, I only got €3. And I'm like, beep, boop, pop. That translates to $5. Matt, you will be fine to go get a burger somewhere. So, if that information ever comes in handy for anyone else, I'm here.
Awesome.
Good for you. Okay, back to the story at hand. I'm sorry, Matt, for all the diversions. So this Jets draft class and executives and their thoughts behind it. So they're pretty excited, it seems, about the Jets. Is it simply the number of picks, or is it, some of these particular players that they've landed?
Yeah, I think it's just the high value prospects that they got in the first round. And I mean, you look at what they were able to do in addition to Klubnik in some of the later rounds, like that, they've filled some holes late. I mean, the D'Angelo Pons pick has a potential to be a plug and play starter on the back end of a defense that needed a lot of help in the secondary, but they also spent big resources in free agency by bringing in Minkah Fitzpatrick. They've upgraded the talent during free agency at some key needs without breaking the bank. They've added to it with young players they can build around. And I think that a lot of people are taking the longer form view here, right? If they win 7-ish games this year and they show progress and you look at the draft class and they hit, next year is the year where you make your decision at quarterback and you've set the foundation to start building on top of that. So I think it's the talent at the top, but it's also the complete picture of an offseason that for a long time, for a franchise that's lacked competency, was very competent in the draft, in free agency with the moves they made. And it's a course correction for what the Jets have been as a franchise for a very long time.
Again, we're speaking with our NFL Insider Matt Lombardo between the hash marks, baby, here on the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. And while a lot of the column first down, primary billing, I can appreciate the marquee aspect of where the Jets were located in your 4 downs column here, Matt Lombardo. But I want to highlight the end of the first down, which ultimately led us to second down and other downs that are in there. And it wasn't just the Jets draft. It was a reminder of what the Jets did from a scouting director that told you, what about the veterans the Jets brought in, whether on the trade market or in free agency? They brought in Minkah Fitzpatrick. They brought in Demario Davis, Dylan Parham, David Onyemata, Nahshon Wright, who was a Pro Bowler last year for the Chicago Bears. When you look at the balanced effort here, now, again, coaching is going to have to see if you can take it over the top. The Jets have had talented teams in 2024. All the experts said they had this top 5 roster in football. They won 5 games. So, like, talent isn't always enough. Eagles dream team, unfortunately, started to bring that one up, Matt Lombardo, or Washington buying it in the early 2000s, trying to buy a team. That doesn't always work, but it looks like the pieces are there for the Jets to be able to do so. Now, will they? We're going to all find out together. But that combination of veterans they brought in, proven guys like Demario, Minkah, that have been in place and have been in winning programs before, with the young rookies, that's the tantalizing part, it seems like to me, Matt.
It felt like a dual mandate this offseason, right? Because you absolutely needed to raise the ceiling on the talent. That was necessary for a couple of things. One, you bring in Aaron Glenn last year as a defensive-minded head coach. You need defensive talent, proven commodities, veterans who have been there from a culture standpoint, from a production standpoint, to really evaluate whether Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator who turned the Lions into an elite unit, can be an NFL head coach. You needed to do that from an evaluation of Aaron Glenn perspective. You also needed to upgrade the talent significantly and bring in experienced playmakers on offense and add explosive players with upside on offense, both for Geno Smith to show that you can kind of get the system rolling, get these guys developing and in place, but more importantly, for whoever your quarterback is in 2027 to have a turnkey situation to walk into where they're not working with an underachieving wide receiver. They're not looking to get A.D. Mitchell to be this proven wide receiver 2 when he might be a wide receiver 3. You want to have the best situation and the best foundation in place so your young quarterback can seamlessly walk in and hit the ground running.
I hear you, Matt. All right, let's shift gears here for a moment, and let me just ask you about what the Giants have been up to now in free agency. Obviously, the loss of Dexter Lawrence has left a gaping hole in the center of the defense, and they need to stop the run better. They weren't even stopping it very well last year with Lawrence in that spot. So the latest of a cavalcade of guys that they've added is DJ Reader, the one that was expected. There's a relationship there with John Harbaugh that it seemed like this was going to be in the fold. Maybe it was just a matter of money. I know there were other teams that are interested, so I'm not sure what it took. But again, pretty reasonable money for the Giants. Plus, they have added some other veterans. So is this fixed now? Is it at least temporarily fixed? What's your assessment of what the Giants have done here? Because obviously they got the number 10 pick in the draft out of the Dexter Lawrence trade, and they've turned that into a starting offensive lineman. So have they done enough here now in the center of the defense, at least, to be a capable team in that area this season?
I like the DJ Reader signing a lot. He's a heck of a football player. He's a really good run stuffer, but he also gives you that pressure up the middle on the quarterback. He had something like 20 or 25 quarterback pressures last year. And when you think about all the explosive firepower off the edge, where you have Harvell Reese, you have Abdul Carter, you have Brian Burns, you might have Kayvon Thibodeau. If you're getting that kind of pressure off the edges with Reader collapsing the pocket up the middle, even if he's just a two-down rotational player, I'm not going to say that it evens you out with what Dexter Lawrence gave you from that perspective, but it's certainly not going to lead to that defensive line taking much of a step back. And I posted this across social media yesterday, guys. I really think when you look at the totality of moves that the Giants have made this offseason, finally having an adult in the room in John Harbaugh, finally having a quarterback whisperer of sorts in Matt Nagy, at least somebody who comes from the Andy Reid tree, and we've seen his success in developing quarterbacks and elevating the ceilings of guys. I really think the Giants are a 10-win football team in the making this year. I think the defense is going to be markedly better. I think the offensive line is going to take a major step forward that you now have two bookend tackles. You have Malik Neighbors on the outside. If Jackson Dart takes a step from the pocket as a pocket passer, limits the punishment that he takes on the run while still maximizing his mobility, I think there's a real reason to be optimistic in New York that they can push for 10 wins in a playoff spot.
Propaganda!
That's some great propaganda for you, Matt. You can bring that kind of propaganda to the show anytime you want. Anytime you want, man. Anytime you want. Fantastic. Thank you, Matt.
No.
Going back to your column for a minute, if I could jump back over there for a minute, Matt, in between the hash marks. You listed some guys in your fourth down segment here that are still out there, 5 of them in particular, some of whom I'm very, very interested in, and who you think might be the best fit. So let's go through the 5 guys that are out there. There'll be some familiar names certainly here. Let's start with Juwan Jennings, the wide receiver, and your thoughts on him. He's still out there. Somebody can have him for the right price, I suppose.
I think there's a ton of great fits, but I don't think there's a team that needs Juwan Jennings more than the Buffalo Bills do. I know they went out and they traded for DJ Moore. I knew that they took a wide receiver on day 3 of the NFL draft. But if you're looking to maximize Josh Allen, if you're looking to go all in on Joe Brady's system, you need to continue to add difference-making talent at wide receiver. And Juwan Jennings is a great 50-50 ball catcher. He's really good in the red zone. That's an area where the Bills have kind of been stagnant, at least in the passing game over the last several seasons. So if you want to add him to the mix alongside a guy like Khalil Shakir, I'd be all for it if I were the Bills going out and getting Juwan Jennings.
All right. Other guys on this list, Boy Green, you'll love this name.
Okay.
This is one that, as they say, a blast from the past, so to speak. How about Hassan Reddick?
Oh, God. No thanks.
Yeah, I think that Hassan Reddick, you're either punching a lottery ticket or catching a falling knife. Whichever metaphor that he winds up being, you're either betting on the lottery ticket being that he was so disinterested in being a Jet, couldn't get motivated to play for the Buccaneers and Todd Bowles and wasn't a fit in that system, that if you drop him opposite of Micah Parsons, you put him back in Jonathan Gannon's system with the Green Bay Packers, you make him part of a rotation with Lucas Van Ness, with Denai Dennis Sutton, where he's not an every down player and he's fresh legs, he could be the lottery ticket. He could also be the falling knife in that he's a veteran who's just shot, that his best days are behind him, that, you know, you're throwing money away, throwing good money after bad, that the player that he was in Philadelphia is too much of a distant memory to be investing in. But if you're the Packers, I love the Denai Dennis Sutton pick. I think that he was extreme value given his explosiveness to get him in like the 4th round or whatever it was. I'm not sold on Lucas Van Ness. You need depth. Hassan Reddick, I think you're buying in on familiarity in the system, and you can reignite a passion in him to be motivated as a piece of the puzzle waiting for Parsons to get back and part of the rotation of guys that you're going to put opposite Parsons when he's healthy.
All right. Another guy on your list, Joey Bosa. We saw him with Buffalo last year. I think he's still got something in the tank here, Matt. Tell me about Joey Bosa.
Yeah, I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but I think if there's one team that absolutely needs to find out, it's the Chicago Bears. Because I like a lot of the things the Bears have done. I thought they've got better at linebacker during free agency. The Kobe Bryant signing, I think, is tremendous, adding a blunt force trauma force multiplier at safety after you lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker at safety. You draft Dylan Thieneman. you still need to get that edge rush presence opposite Montez Sweat, who had 10 sacks last year. But so much of what the Bears did last season was predicated on timely turnovers and big stops on third down. The pressure just wasn't there. So if you can get Joey Bosa in there, and he doesn't have to necessarily be a double-digit sack guy, but if he's your mercenary veteran pass rusher for hire, I think you do a lot worse at this stage of free agency and for the money that it would cost than bringing in Joey Bosa on a team-friendly deal.
Another guy on your list, Bobby Wagner. Tell me about Bobby Wagner. What's a good fit for him?
Yeah, veteran linebacker, thumper, played a lot of football, extremely strong locker room presence. Talked to a couple agents familiar with the linebacker market like a month ago. They didn't see there being a strong value for Bobby Wagner. That's clearly played out that it's now May 6th. And Bobby Wagner is still available. But the name that keeps coming up, the team that keeps coming up in conversations is the Los Angeles Rams. There's familiarity there with the coaching staff. It's a veteran team. It's a win-now team. You put him into that locker room with all of the experience. He's played there before, played really well there before. As a piece of the puzzle, as a rotational linebacker, Bobby Wagner could be a good fit with the Rams.
And then final guy on your list here, Matt, David Njoku, the tight end, formerly with Cleveland.
Yeah, just a guy, lots of athleticism throughout his career. The production never quite has matched up to that, but he had a really good year last year despite a lot of turmoil at quarterback, despite a lot of the inconsistency from Shedeur Sanders. 166 of his 293 yards, according to Pro Football Focus, were yards after the catch. So you just look at the scheme fit. I know that the Panthers were really sniffing around in the NFL draft at some of the top tight ends. Didn't come away with either Kenyon Sadiq or the kid from Vanderbilt. So I think they could still be in the market for a tight end. And you look at David Njoku going to the Panthers, could be a safety valve for Bryce Young. He can operate in the space underneath created by Teteroa McMillan and Jalen Coker on the outside. And with that kind of yak ability, could be an excellent scheme fit for an offense that needs to go to the next level.
There are some surprising, obviously Lurch just went through a bunch of them, but Stephon Diggs and Juwan Jennings and some of these names, like, man, there's a lot bigger names, it feels like anyway. Maybe it's just like prisoner of the moment here than normal. So it'll be interesting to see, obviously, some legal situations in a few cases like Stephon Diggs, that getting cleared up, L'Jarius Sneed situation apparently getting cleared up may open up some opportunities as well. So interesting, some opportunities for teams to add some big names, that's for sure. We'll see what happens there.
All right, Matt. As always, thanks for your patience today. Sorry we're a little late, but always appreciate your insight. Please plug away before you go, my friend.
Yes.
All good, man. Thanks for having me. As always, tons of fun on the show. A highlight of my week. Yeah, a lot of content coming out of Between the Hash Marks. We've kicked off our series grading every team's offseason. Just hit the wire before we came on the show was the Detroit Lions. Lions fans might not be thrilled with the grade I just gave Detroit, but I do like the vision. I do like the philosophy. Texans and Buccaneers were the first two on the list. Friday, we'll have the mailbag column where you can submit your questions to me. I'll pose them to NFL executives, coaches, scouts, agents, get their answers, fill you in with what they had to say in the column. And 4 downs. For Monday, we're still cooking on some ideas, but come check out what we're building at Between the Hash Marks on Substack. Would love to have you there, and appreciate you guys giving me the chance to talk it up a bit.
Hey, quickly before you go, Matt, since you mentioned the Lions, this is just tickling me, so let me just ask you while it's on my mind. Detroit Lions, obviously a major fall from grace from the season before, where I really thought they could win the Super Bowl. All right,
They didn't make the
Regressed
playoffs.
each of the last 2 years.
Last
Yeah.
season,
you're right.
not even making the playoffs. Just way too early prediction. What are the Lions this year? Are they back in the playoffs? Where are they in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, the NFC North, you look at what the Bears have done, it feels like just from a young talent standpoint, from maximizing Caleb Williams, from Ben Johnson building a high-flying offense, it feels like the Bears have spent the last 3 years not only drafting well, but creating real separation in the division. I think the Lions are probably that second-best team in the NFC North, the biggest challenge to the Bears. I think that they're in the mix for, at minimum, a wild card spot. But, man, you start to look at the teams in the NFC. I mean, you look at the 49ers, you look at the Rams, you look at the Seahawks, you look at the Eagles, you look at the Cowboys, you look at the Bears. Where do the Lions fit in that mix? Are they even the 6th or 7th best team in the conference? The young talent is there, but they need to find a way to get over the top in the postseason. It's been a struggle for them. We'll see if they can put it together this year. I think that, as I wrote in the column today, one of the best draft and develop franchises in the entire sport. When you look at their roster, how much of it is homegrown talent with first-round picks down to fourth or fifth-round lottery tickets that wound up cashing. They just need to find a way to leverage that talent into postseason success. It's been their biggest hurdle. We'll see if they have the chance to do it this year.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Always great to talk to you. We'll talk to you again next week.
You got it, boys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, there he is. Matt Lombardo. Check him out between the hash marks on Substack. I almost questioned myself.
You had it right.
I did.
Conviction, Lurch. Conviction, man.
Okay. A couple of things. Number one, I want to just step out for a break here. Again, reminding everybody, Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. Our friends at the Allen Floral Group, let them be your home, especially if you live in the central New York area here, for flowers. You want to get yourself, your mom, a lovely, lovely bouquet for Mother's Day. They also have other trinkets as well. So go see them. They really, really do it well. 5 locations here in central New York. We're going to hear about our friends from Creative Florist in just a minute. And, of course, want to give major props to our title sponsor, Northeast Roofing Professionals. You see them above us every single day. NERPCNY.com, specializing in roofs in the Fayetteville and DeWitt areas and the surrounding areas. But reach out to them if you're thinking about a roof or a roof repair and see if they'll come to your neighborhood. NERPCNY.com. They do it right. They do it well. And we really appreciate their sponsorship. So we will step aside for a break. When we come back, Boy Green, I have a very special guest. All right. That's all I'm saying. I have a very special guest. We'll do that when we return. All right. Boy Green has no clue at all. I've given him no lowdown on this whatsoever. All right. Break here. And then we're back. Special guest joins us next.
Well, hello, how do you do? I got a feeling I'm falling for you. Well, hello, what do you say? I think we can make it a beautiful day. We're gonna make it a beautiful day.
Finding the right local roofing company can be tricky. You don't want to hire the wrong roofers, or you could end up spending a fortune on repairs. The pros at Northeast Roofing Professionals can ensure your home is protected by a strong and sturdy roof. Locally owned and operated, over 30 years experience, free estimates, and competitively priced. Don't settle for an inexperienced roofing contractor. Turn to Northeast Roofing Professionals. Discounts for military and first responders. Reach out and let them put a sturdy roof over your head. NERPCNY.com. NERPCNY.com.
And joining us is our special guest right here. It is Mookie the dog. And the reason Mookie is on, Paul, today,
All right.
is today is Mookie's birthday. All right.
Oh,
So
wow.
maybe I'm going to get him some flowers from Creative Florist today. All right. Mookie is, believe it or not, everybody looks at him and they say, look at the little puppy because he's so cute, right?
Yeah.
Mookie is 14 years old today. 1-4. The big 1-4 today. Tell everybody, hey, man, I'm the big 1-4.
Yeah, full screen. Yeah, sure.
He's sleeping on the floor. He was like, why are you bringing me up here today? So there's Mookie, the mascot. Oh, yawning his way through the show. Pretty much that's what he does every show. He must enjoy the sound of my voice. But Mookie is 14 years young today in very, very good health. He's a
14, wow.
Cavachon, for those of you out there wondering what breed Mookie is. That means he's half Cavalier, a King Charles Spaniel, and half Bichon. Another yawn for Mookie. I'm sorry. I did wake him up out of a dead sleep.
Well,
there.
older, you know,
during that
like
break
the
there,
older
yeah.
you get, the more
Yeah.
tired you are.
Yeah,
So,
they just, although he's alive at night these days. Usually when I
Really?
come in, like I had a late class last night,
okay.
got into the house around 9 o'clock. Mookie was running around. He was chasing his ball. He was asking for treats. He was doing everything. And then around 10:30, he was done. All right. But,
Oh.
but he had a good hour and a half spurt
Okay.
there
Well,
late at night. So he's a little bit of a late night warrior these days. But by day, it's a lot of sleep. And he
So
does
we're-
enjoy the podcast, whether we're recording, whether we're doing lives. He loves to just
I
be right
respect
next
that.
to me at my feet listening to the podcast. You remember he used to come into our studio.
Of course, very often, especially in our final 2 or 3 years or something. It seemed like Mookie was in there all the time. So this is a good opportunity for you to share stories here. So how you got Mookie, and then the name, which was involved with the radio show. There's sort of a lot of connective tissue here.
Yeah, well, the radio show is how he got the name Mookie. We did a contest on the radio show. I was looking for a name for my first dog. I've had a lot of dogs throughout my life. My family has had a lot of dogs, I should say, but none of them were my dog. So Mookie was my dog living in my house, purchased by me, trained by me, and definitely my right-hand man, right, Mook?
Yeah.
So that's how he got the name. We did a on-air contest, and there was a guy who was playing for the Syracuse basketball team at the time named Mookie Jones. A lot of people think because I'm a Met fan, it was for Mookie Wilson, the Met player. But that's not the case. It was Mookie Jones, the basketball player playing for Syracuse, that this particular fan came up with the name Mookie. And I wanted to make sure when I named this dog that it was a good dog sounding name, because my old partner, Bud Poliquin, as you know, his dog's names were like Mike, Joe,
That's
Bill.
weird, man.
I was like,
That's weird.
dude, those are people names. Like Mookie, I know there are some people out there, obviously named Mookie, but
Sure.
Mookie fits really well for a dog. So I like dog names for dogs, and I like people names for people. I know there is some cross-pollination, but Bud pushes it too far. Just a Mike or a Bill
Chris,
or a Sam.
right.
It's like,
I just,
come on, like, can't we do a little bit better than that?
that's a little
so
weird.
anyway,
Well, real
so anyway,
quick.
that's how we got his name.
So if the fan, so you said, hey, fans, whatever you say or vote or however you guys did it, that will be the name, whether I like it or not. That's what you submitted to, that would happen no matter what.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we had a contest. I mean, the contest was for, I don't know, a week or two. We just had people texting and emailing us names, using our social and using our email, sending in names. And I was starting to collect them. I was like, oh, there's some good names here. I could definitely see name my dog that, name my dog that. Wish I could remember what the finalists were, because what we did is we kind of corralled them into like 3 finalists. But ultimately, I didn't want to just put it out there as a vote to the fans, because then I'm stuck with the name. I wanted to still pick it. So
there wasn't 100%.
But send us in what you like the most. But and I guess if we probably had done a poll, and I think Mookie would have won anyway. I think people just liked that idea.
Right.
I can't remember. It's so long ago. I mean, Mookie's 14 years old, so it was nearly 14.
You probably still have the tapes, right? From that you could go back through.
Yeah, I know. Everything's on these little digital discs, Paul. You got one of those kind of players around? Because I don't have a whole collection of digital discs in my thing of the radio show, and I'm like, what am I ever doing with these things? I mean, I don't even know if I could get like a conversion plate place to convert them anymore, because it almost doesn't exist. I had told you just a summer ago, 2 summers ago, I have all these tapes from TV, and they were all on this particular digital format, these little mini digital tapes that we used at Channel 9 here in Syracuse when I was doing television work. And the fact of the matter was, I couldn't find anybody who had these decks. So I wanted to get some of my work from all those years ago put onto a digital format so I could have them forever. And I was having trouble. And then finally, I found a guy who was an engineer actually at Onondaga Community College. And he says, I think I can get you something. And then he set up this whole rig for me. It was phenomenal what this very nice man, Greg, did for me. And now I have that stuff forever, which is pretty cool. I didn't transfer over every bit because I have just hundreds of tapes, but I found some of the best stuff and the most fun stuff. Great. And now I have some really nice memories that I can pass down digitally, to anybody that's interested in my family. Okay. So there you go.
And look at this. R&R Party says, my dog Rookie is watching.
Rookie,
wow, I've never heard that name before for a dog, but that's a great name. Great dog name.
Great dog name. All right. So I like the dog names, not Mike.
Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah,
Jim.
With all due respect.
I love my name.
It's just
I'm sure you love your name. What should
By
be
the way,
a dog's name? I don't know about that.
I see R&R Party is also one of our big Survivor fans. So, yes, we will be back tonight for Survivor. I believe I still have my graphic here in my holster. I do. So, here you go. I'll throw it up on the screen. We have episode 11 coming tonight. I research it every time to make sure. I believe tonight is back to a 90-minute episode. We sort of mix in 2-hour episodes every once in a while. Hell, the finale, reunion, live show, all of that will be 3 hours. So, we'll have to make sure we're really on our P's and Q's for that late show. So,
tonight's regular, right? An hour and a half?
Yeah, tonight's regular. So it says it's scheduled for 9:45, but if me, Lurch, and Brett all get in the room at 9:35, we'll start it early. So
we'll start it as soon as
it'll be minutes after the final thing. We're running out of time. I mean, we're getting deep in. We only have a handful of episodes left, so we'll keep you guys posted.
It might be 3 more weeks.
I think you're right. I think it's
2 more regulars and then the finale. So I think it's like May 20 something. It's either
I think it's the 20th because I don't remember. I mean, it could be the 27th. I guess it could be after. What would that be? What's the holiday that's right there on the 25th? That's escaping me. May 25th, Memorial Day, right? No.
Oh,
right?
Well, Memorial Day is coming up. Yeah. So that might be, I don't know what the date is because it changes.
Then whatever the big holiday date that's coming up later, which I believe is Memorial Day, but I'm slipping, will be the 25th because I'm doing a vacation that week. That's the only reason I know it. So I believe it's Memorial Day. And so I couldn't remember if it was before or after Memorial Day. So it's either the 20th or 27th is the finale for Survivor. So we will have that cooking. I believe it's the 20th. Now that I'm really thinking about it, it's definitely the 20th. Yeah, the finale is.
Yep,
yeah,
I've confirmed
100%.
it. So Wednesday, May 20th is the finale. Yep.
Okay, great. So I can't
This
wait.
week,
So we only have a
and
couple
next week,
episodes
and
left.
then a finale. So that's it. We have
Man.
3 episodes left. And I always say,
That's right.
we get Brett. We've been doing this with Brett for in the neighborhood of 10 years. I haven't
Yeah.
been an exact track of it. We could probably figure it
Yeah.
out by the episodes. But like when we don't have him during the off season, I miss him. Like
I do
he's like
too.
our pal. He's become really our friend, virtually and through our radio show for all these years. And I love talking to him, and I love just finding out what's going on with him. And we get to talk to him a little bit off air, usually before or after the show, and how things are going. He's a cop up there in Boston, So and then he's disappears for a couple of months while they're making the next episode or while we're waiting for it to air. And then I'm like, man, I miss Brett.
I'm
When he
glad
comes
we
back,
have
it's
this.
like
Is the one
reunion. It's
thing,
pretty cool.
right? Shows are different, right? There's all kind like
Sure.
there's the 2.5 Men to like Seinfeld to whatever. I don't know. I watched Seinfeld when it was all complete, so I rewatched it all in a vacuum versus like a Game of Thrones or something or that. The cool thing I love about Survivor is at least we get 2 seasons a year. So every year there's the spring and the
Right.
fall, spring and
Comes
the fall.
fast.
So yeah, so we are getting that, which explains how you get to 50 seasons in 26 years, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, I am excited. I'm glad we get to talk to Brett when we did, but it has been cool. He's become part of the family. I'm glad that someone stepped up. I've told the Survivor story before that my initial plan, I'm a Survivor fan, Lurch's a Survivor fan. And when I took over as a co-host, I'm like, we're going to have our own wrinkles here to this that did not exist with Bud. And one of them that made a lot of sense was Survivor because it's cool. It's pop culture-y. It's beyond sports. And my initial plan when we were going to do Survivor recap episodes was get like 25 survivors in the Rolodex and mix it up on a week-to-week basis. It would put us in front of different audiences, help us grow. I said, that would be, I just need to get the people. So I started doing all this research and getting into it. And then we had a guy, Brett LaBelle, who committed to the every week thing, which was much more reliable. It developed a relationship. It wasn't cold turkey with it. No offense to any of those wonderful Survivor people I started collecting together on a list. That would be and will be cool if I go back to that list at any point. But it's great to just have a guy. And we've developed a really cool relationship with Brett. And it's been cool to, our winners and fantasy drafts. And we've just have a lot of history with Brett, which is pretty special.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. A couple of the housekeeping things before we get back into hardcore sports topics. We could preview tonight's Knicks game a little bit. Knicks Sixers game 2 tonight. There were 2 games last night, by the way. Lakers went down in flames. Hung in there for a little while, but man, without Doncic, I don't really give them.
And the Thunder being the Thunder, maybe even with Doncic, it would have been screwed.
I'd like to see it with Doncic, though. At least it would be fun to see that tête-à-tête and that back and forth. I know they're showing him on the bench. I haven't heard the latest update if there's any chance that he gets back in the series at all, but I haven't heard anything. He apparently went over to Europe to do some special treatment and all kinds of things. He's trying to get back and get on the court, but it may be too late before it's, before it could be over before he's able to do that. But we'll talk about the Knicks in a little bit. But our monthly raffle is underway. So just want to highlight again, you see the scrolling ticker below, the 2 life-size Jim Boeheim vinyl SU Hoops posters that you could put in your man cave and the laser engraved 12th Manchild pint glass. Pretty easy to get a ticket. If you're not already a member, become a member. You just become a member of our lowest level, the 12th Manchild. Immediately, you get 2 tickets. If you gift a membership to anyone, you get 2 tickets for gifting that membership. We saw number 1 Austrian Jets fan do that earlier in the show today. Added 2 more tickets to his tote board. Right now, he is the leader with 22 tickets. If you go to our other memberships, our Hall of Fame membership or our Diehards membership, you get bonus raffle tickets. Diehard will get you 10 tickets. All right. That's $9.99 a month. If you go for $19.99 a month, our Hall of Fame membership, you'll get 20 immediate raffle tickets, and you'll become a member of our fantasy football league for this coming fall. We're going to do a digital-only fantasy football league, and for becoming a diehard member, you will join our football league, and you will compete against Boy Green and myself. Jamie the FedEx guy is now officially in as a Hall of Fame member. He will be part of that league, and perhaps Zay Engineer might get into that league as well. He is currently a Hall of Fame member. So that's how you do it. And you could also just super chat. Every $3 that you put in for a super chat or a super sticker gets you a raffle ticket. So if you did, $12, you get 4 tickets, so on and so forth. Just multiply 3 times whatever, and that's how many tickets you'll get. And again, 2 really cool prizes. I'll jump over to my media here. You want to show one of them real quick?
Yeah, I got them. Yeah, I'll go bang bang. You'll see both of them here.
All right.
Here's
we'll
the
see
first
these quick
clip.
videos of the Boeheim posters if you want to know what they are. They're very, very large. I wrote down the dimensions. I'll try and find it again. I think it was like 50-something by 40-something. So they're 56 inches by 45 inches. So the 56 high, by 45 wide, just to give you a sense of the size. They will take up a good piece of a wall. Go ahead, Paul, play the video.
Yeah, 100%. Here's the first one.
All right, and this is the first Jim Boeheim life-size poster. Again, tight shot of Boeheim, people on the bench. You got an official in the shot there. And like I said, it's made of this like nice vinyl material. So you can see it really, really well. I mean, it was hanging in the studio, so it's, you know, not in perfect, pristine condition, but it absolutely looks awesome on a wall. Or someone could even take this thing and get it framed into a big frame and have it cut properly to fit a frame. So very cool item. I'll show you the second one in just a second. All right, and here's the second poster. This one is a close-up of Jim Boeheim, obviously in his suit and tie. Really, really nice quality. By the way, both of the posters roughly 46 inches wide by about 56 inches from top to bottom. So both in really nice shape. And again, both this vinyl. So it's a really, really, like, this is gonna, you know, it's really, really durable. There are a few holes along the edges for where we had them tacked in the studio, but outside of that, they're really, really in good shape, especially this poster. Really nice.
You know what's kind of freakish about listening back to those videos, watching those videos and listening to those videos? You know, I hear myself every day. I mean, I wear headphones. I hear myself coming back to myself. So I'm fairly familiar with my voice. When I listen to myself back, like away, like, okay, I'm not hearing myself as I'm talking. I'm just hearing myself separately as a piece of audio on a video like that.
Yeah.
I hear how much my New York accent rolls in there, you know?
It is.
I'm like, yeah, I still am bleeding that. I mean, I'm out of New York now for over 25 years. All right.
You've been here longer than there,
yeah,
right?
I've been here longer than there. And but it's still remarkable to me.
It's Rudy.
It's Rudy. It's
Yeah.
still kind of, it blends in from time to time. So sometimes I'm total Central New York accent and, like, you know, enunciating my vowels, elongating my vowels like they do here in Central New York. But downstate, obviously, they don't do that. And I still roll into that New York. I can catch it in certain words, certain phrases. So listening back to myself, like, that's me? That doesn't even sound like me. You know, like, it's so crazy.
Well, I will say real quick on these prizes. Obviously, it's cool if you're a Syracuse fan or a Jim Boeheim fan. He's just he's a Hall of Famer, so like there's coolness of there. But to me, another cool part of this is these posters have seen posters, for lack of a better word. They're more than posters, but that they've just seen so much. They were in Bud would love this Hamilton reference in the room where it happened. I mean, they just saw so much. Famous guests passing by, from Floyd Littles to you know anybody, you know, producers, the blood, sweat, and tears that happened in those rooms.
The DNA of Floyd Little is on one of those posters.
I'm sure it is
somewhere in there on one of the posters.
Right?
You can still track his DNA.
Possible, 100%. And then, like, you know, all the funny moments, sad moments, like, you know, in the 23 years of the show, there were deaths that of people we knew. There was you know, funny, hilarious moments. I had us crying, laughing on Fun Fridays. There was everything. And these posters were, again, for lack of a better word, they're much more than posters, but what these represent, it's history. So for whoever wins this, I hope it means as much to you as it does to me. If I had a room in my house, I would bid on it myself to put it somewhere, but I don't, and my fiance would hit me with a frying pan. But in my head, it just has all this meaning. It's super cool. So good luck to whoever ends up winning those. Again, we'll be drawing that in the 22nd, which is 2 weeks from today.
And then the last prize is this laser engraved 12th MC glass. So that is going along with those posters. So you get all 3 items. And again, we will draw our raffle as we do every month on the 22nd of the month, and then the next live show will announce our winner. So last time we were right on the date, which is wonderful. I think this time it'll be a couple days later that we'll announce the winner, but we'll reach out to you as soon as we have a winner. But you know, make the tote board heavy. So super chat your way in, or membership your way in, or gift membership your way in. But find a way to get into our monthly raffle. Unique, cool things, historical items, dare I say, going out the door these days. So, and we'll have another raffle again starting next month. That's our YouTube channel, by the way, youtube.com/@MCShowDigital. And again, don't forget to click that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to subscribe. So please do that. And if you're liking what you hear and you're liking our live shows, then hit the like button as well. That'll get it out to more and more people. We are on a march right now to get to 1,000 subscribers.
We're 111 away.
111 away. We want to get there before we get to our 1-year anniversary. So
that'd be cool.
Just got a couple of months here to get that job done. So I'm really, really hoping that you folks are going to help push us over the top and get us to 1,000. by our year anniversary here on the digital side. So close it in. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been a lot of, as they say, a labor of love for us. But here we are. All right, back
By
to
the way,
sports.
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. One
Yeah,
more
I
thing.
just want to give a quick plug. This interview posted like basically right as we were going live, so I will promote it more on social media once our show is over. But Adriana joined us on the show, and it's Adriana Iafola.
Iafola.
Iafola. I've heard it 12 different times today. So from other people, but Adriana joined us. She's part of the Giants Collective podcast. We did some super fun stuff on the Giants for any of our Giant fans out there in the audience. Go check out that interview that's already posted. Like I said, I haven't shared it out to social media yet, but if you're a subscriber, you already got access to it, of course. So shout out to Adriana. She has a massive following, and for good reason. Super smart, good takes, and she is not afraid to let it fly. So
she was at the draft as you were. Her first draft as well, we found out in our conversation.
I wish I would have known. I would have tried to meet up with her. But that's amazing.
That was pretty cool. But I saw her mingling around. I saw her talking with the Giant people at the draft as well. So go check out her Instagram, and you will not regret it. There's a really cool stuff. She even does fashionista stuff.
Oh, yeah, great.
We'll talk about some of that in the interview as well, and we'll probably have her back at some point, especially once we get into Giants season and actually wins and losses are actually occurring on the football field. But it was a nice conversation with her, both on the draft, on some of the things that she's up to. She's involved in a thing that you're very familiar with, Boy Green, called the Giants Collective. So there are these collectives, right, that work for different teams. You do some work for the Jets as well. So yeah, these are these cool things that they're putting together to give fans of specific teams more content and more organized content, and she's part of that team of people as well. So very, very cool. So check out that interview, as Boy Green said, just posted before we got started. That was one of several reasons why we're a little behind schedule today. So apologize. We're going right on the dime with our live shows, but today we were just running late, and there were just a lot of things going on. So sometimes it gets a little crazy around showtime, and you just don't have total control of that. But the beauty is not being at radio. They would have just played the music.
That would.
It would have just been dead microphones, and nobody would have been in the room, right? At least in this world, we can control that a little bit. So, like, all right, we're just going to be a little bit late today. And thank you for those that were already in the comments at Showtime saying, "Where the heck are you?" And I said, "We're coming. Don't worry." I was in the room waiting, and I said, "Don't worry, we're coming. We'll just be a couple minutes. We're dealing with some quick technical difficulties, but we will be with you." But part of that is getting our content to you guys as expeditiously as we can, and making sure that you have everything that we're doing as quickly as you possibly can. So. And that's the advantage also of being a member and being highly involved and subscribing to the channel and clicking the notifications so you know when stuff is out. You can get it instantly and be on top of it. And you'll get some special access if you indeed become a member of one of our 3 levels. So do all that, and it really, really supports the channel. All right, let's talk some sports now, Boy Green. The NBA is truly afoot. As I mentioned, the Lakers went down to OKC last night. The Spurs have been surprised in game 1. So this is going to get to be an interesting series here with the Spurs if they were somehow, because again, the first 2 games are in San Antonio. If somehow the T-Wolves can find a way to win game number 2, Anthony Edwards made a surprise return to the lineup in that game. He didn't play heavy minutes, but the minutes he played were very effective. And I think he scored 18 or 19 points in the game. So he had a very solid game. And his team pulled it out, although the Spurs did have a shot to win the game, and they weren't able to do it. But nonetheless, a win is a win. You don't care how you get them. And they have started this series with a win on the road. So nobody talking about the T-Wolves. Could the T-Wolves find their path to the finals, especially as Anthony Edwards theoretically gets healthier and healthier as the series goes on and as the playoffs roll on? Obviously, he has been a primetime player for a number of years. They have been a factor in recent years, but have not been able to get over the top. Maybe their camaraderie, the fact that they've been a team that's been together a little bit longer, maybe that's going to come into play for them as well. Meanwhile, in the East, the Knicks back on the court tonight, Boy Green, against the Philadelphia 76ers. Even you, Boy Green, are a Sixer fan or a Knicks fan. Thank you for your fandom. We do appreciate it. Come on, we'll let you in. We'll let you in. We don't really appreciate it, but we'll let you in. It's okay. You can come in. We know you're a Celtics guy now, migrating to the Knicks. Just definitively now. You mentioned it the other day. So why are you on the Knicks bandwagon here and not with Philadelphia? What's the story?
Yeah. So someone mentioned it when we were on the show. Must have been Monday. Boy, you must be like Paul, you being a Celtics fan, you're now out. You must have adopted the 76ers because I assume that person's mentality, and I've heard this a lot, is
Yes.
if you lose to a team in the playoffs in any sport, you root for them to win, because if any fan gives you crap later that year, like, you lost, we're like, hey, we lost to the champ. I mean, there's apparently some dignity in that. Me, absolutely not. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There's no dignity in that. I don't want to lose ever. So to lose in the first round was incredibly embarrassing. So no, I hope the Knicks stop a mud hole through the 76ers. I hope they sweep them. I hope they beat them by a billion points, and then their sorry candy behinds are back in Philadelphia where they belong with their terrible fans. So no, I am not a 76ers fan. I never have been, never will be, and I will not temporarily be either. No, for your Knicks, Lurch, it'd be if me and you were mano a mano, your Knicks, I'm Celtics. I'm not rooting for your Knicks for nothing, but I wouldn't expect you to root for my Celtics for nothing. It's competitive battle, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And I would have been all in. That did not happen, which obviously caught me by surprise. Totally overlooked Philadelphia, and I still can't believe they lost. I can't believe they lost 2 games, let alone the entire series. Like, I'm just still a little befuddled, but nonetheless, I am a massive Knicks guy. Run them through the rest of the way. I don't really have any skin in the game to see OKC win another one. The Spurs are interesting with Wembanyama and how quickly, he's sort of taken over the league. So that's interesting. Ant-Man over there is fun, and all this other jazz, Lakers, LeBron, whatever. And then over here on the East, I've got no affiliation to Pistons. They're Fugazi. Cleveland, James Harden. Yeah, no thank you. And then we're left with Knicks and 76ers here. So, yes, I'm a Knicks guy. A lot of my audience in the morning on my Jet show are Knicks fans. That makes sense. Knicks, Jets. A lot of people are New York people, so all their teams are New York. And for those that are like that, that makes things a lot easier, I imagine. So, yeah, I'm totally a Knicks guy. I don't invest any real estate into you lost to a team, so now you got to root for that team at all. So, no, I hope your Knicks win a championship for the first time since 1973.
Well, there is one thing that you probably don't want that to happen. One reason you don't want that to happen. And I was just looking at it the other day because I have it in my living room on kind of my little trophy shelf, if you want to call it, where I have some trinkets and some items.
Okay.
There is a bottle of champagne. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we had a wonderful intern by the name of, yours is right there. Oh, go ahead.
It is. It's always in shot, of course. It's of high regard around here.
Okay, so it's in that box back there. You can see it. He's pointing to it in that white box behind him. So I have one of those as well. Those were given to us by a former intern of ours who worked for us for a while at the radio station. His name is Rob Finger. And Rob, yes, his last name is Finger. It's a interesting last name.
Weird. Yeah, but anyhow.
All right. I'm sure he took major abuse in elementary
Definitely
and middle school
did.
about that last name. As I did with Lurch, as everybody who walked by me would say, you rang from the Addams family. Okay.
Hey, by the way, wherever you're going to go with the story, quick congrats to Rob. I saw on social media he won an award for his work with WTOP or the Whiteout or both. So everything all and above. So congrats.
He won a Sports Story Award from the Syracuse Press Club just a few days ago. You're absolutely right.
I saw that somewhere on social media. I saw it somewhere.
He's all excited. He's an award-winning guy now. Oh my God, his ego just got that much bigger.
I would be saying that everywhere. If I was an award-winning guy with anything, I'd be like, yeah, I'm award-winning broadcaster, award-winning man, award-winning whatever. Oh, he should take full advantage of that.
And he texted me the other day, and he I had congratulated him on the award because I saw he had won it.
Yeah.
He had posted something on social, so I sent him a text and I said, "Hey, congrats! That's awesome." And then he said, "Hey, yeah, by the way," and so his head hasn't gotten too big, Boy Green. He said, "I know that you guys still might need to shoot some. We have some local commercials that we might have to shoot some video." And Rob was helping us out shoot some of our video commercials. So some of the commercials that you see, Rob shot some of the video and helped edit it. And he said, "Hey, if you need me, I'm still available now that I'm graduating," because he's graduating this semester. From SUNY Oswego. And he's like, I still committed to that. If you need my help, reach out to me. I was like, okay, all right, former intern. But Rob used to host a segment called Trending Around the Water Cooler. All right, that we did on the radio.
We need to bring him back immediately.
Trending Around the Water Cooler is just kind of like our intern would find things that people were talking about in the world of sports and even elsewhere involving sports.
Because people used to, I know this is a foreign concept, but, people used to gather on a water cooler. Now, a water cooler, I have one in my house. I'm looking at it. It actually saves you a bunch of money to do it in this way instead of just buying water bottles and things you normally do. So it's better for the environment. that's the kind of guy I am. There's a water cooler where people would meander.
In the break room.
They'd
It used
go
to be in
over
the break rooms of
100%.
companies and
Cold
corporations.
water, hot water if you were making coffee or something, whatever. It'd be around the
People
water
go
cooler.
get a
You'd
sip
just
of
be
water.
talking. You'd be
Right.
talking about sports, your life. Things would just happen around what's trending around the water cooler. So I know these kids in 2026 are like, we've had
Right.
interns. Rob was
Execs.
probably one of them. What's the water cooler? I don't get it. What are you talking about? Which is depressing, by the way. But
Well, don't you
nonetheless.
remember when the interns were brand new, there were occasions where I said to the intern while they were in the studio, do you know what a water cooler is? Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
And then, of course, they were like, I don't want to say yes because they're going to ask me more questions. No, I don't. Paul, could you please take them down the hallway? And Paul would walk them out and
I
take
would.
them down the hallway to our break room at the radio station where there indeed was a living, breathing water cooler. I don't
Yeah.
think it was breathing, but it was there. And I don't think it was living, but it was there. But there was a
Yeah.
water cooler.
Yes.
And then, here's the little cups. You pull the little Dixie cups out.
Yeah, I showed him the whole thing.
Cold
Yeah.
water, take a slug, nice fresh
Drink,
spring
yep.
water, nice and cold, okay, in this beautiful little water cooler thing. And the idea was people would come to the break room, quote,
Right.
around the water cooler and chat about, hey, did you hear about this? Hey, I saw this on the Today Show. Hey,
Yeah.
I can't believe the Giants traded Dexter Lawrence. Whatever it might be.
100%. All that kind of stuff. Yep.
So that's where it came from. And so Rob was hosting the segment while he was there as an intern. And I said to him one day, I think it was me, if it's you, take the credit, but I can't remember which one of us said it. But I said, like, you have this. He came up with a saying for the water cooler, right?
It's definitely
And the
you.
saying-
Definitely you.
Okay, it was me. He said,
Yeah.
serving up the hottest takes and the coldest drinks. It's Rob Fingers trending around the water cooler. Like he
And he came up with that little phrase.
branded
Right.
it around himself and created this little
Respect.
slogan/mantra. All right.
Right.
And
Right.
and he would say it every time.
He would.
Sum it up. And that's time now to serve up the hottest takes and the coldest drinks. I'm Rob Finger, and it's time to do trending around the water cooler. All right, fellas, here we go. And then he'd ask us our first question.
Yeah, right,
We'd
right.
be on our way doing our segment. And I said to him one day, like a couple of days in, after he did that slogan a couple of times, I was like, excuse me, I get the whole, the hottest takes, because Paul and I are superb talk show hosts. And
Obviously.
of course, we're daily delivering cool hot takes. Yes. Right, pat on the
course.
back, pat on the
Yeah,
back,
there you go.
right?
Nice.
But serving up the coldest drinks, excuse me, I don't see any drinks around here. All right. And so we just, I was just messing with them, totally
Yeah, right,
messing
right.
with them, just like, you're going to come in here with a slogan. You better be living up to the deal. All right. And Rob
But you didn't
takes
mean
this
anything
hard.
by it. Right.
I really
You
didn't.
meant
I
it
was
like a
just busting
joke.
his chops,
Right,
I was just
right,
busting
yeah.
his chops,
Come
as I
on, right.
often did
Yeah.
in a radio studio with the interns. And I did it on the air, though. I was talking to him about
Yes,
this on
yes.
the air, And so he walked out that day, and he comes back the next day to do his water cooler segment. And he goes, I've got something. And he lifts up this cooler and he
Yeah.
slams it on the table in the radio
Yeah.
station. And Paul and I are both looking around. He said, you said I don't serve up the coldest drinks? Here you go. And he opens up the cooler, puts 2 frozen mugs down on the table,
Yeah.
pint glasses that have been
Yeah.
iced overnight that still have the frost
Yes.
on them, and then busts out for me I think the first one he gave me was
Arnie Palmy?
I think it was an Arnold Palmer or it was a Myers Creek beer. I can't remember.
Oh,
which
Myers
one it
Creek. Oh,
was.
yeah. I
think it
can't
was a
remember if
Myers
he.
Creek beer.
Yeah. I
Okay,
can't
Myers Creek was
remember.
one of our local sponsors
Yes.
at the time in radio, and I was talking about some of the beers that I like, and I was always
Yes.
doing live commercials for them on the air. So Rob got me a Myers Creek beer, and he got
Yeah.
Paul Mountain Dew because Paul only
Oh,
drinks
yeah.
Mountain Dew. I think it's the only thing
That's
he
true.
drinks.
Yeah.
So ice cold Mountain Dew, ice cold beer, pours them into the glasses for us. He goes, now it's time for the hottest takes and the coldest drinks that's trending around the water cooler. And now we were in love with Rob. I mean, we
my
were like,
God, yes.
Rob is the best intern. Rob's going into the intern Hall of Fame. Rob.
100%.
The guy's bringing us free drinks. I mean, we're not doing it. Well, it didn't stop. I thought it was a one-off. He's just going to do this once.
Like a
Literally,
hit back to you, right?
every day he came in to do water cooler, he brought us drinks. And then he
Oh,
started
yeah.
asking us what we wanted, like the night before. Like, what do you need? What do you want tomorrow? I'm like, I don't care. You're buying me free drinks. Beggars
And-
can't be choosy.
He bought the glasses. These are not just regular glasses
he
that
did.
we
Yes, he
used and moved on.
Yes,
Like
yes.
he bought a Jets glass and I believe
For
a
you, and
Mets,
he got me a Mets
or
glass. That's
Mets
correct.
glass. Yeah. And he got one of it and we got to keep it. So I went
Yes.
like, wow. And folks, by the way, what an underappreciated thing in life.
That's
I
very
need to
cool.
do it more. To put an ice cold glass cup, mug, whatever in your freezer, or if you're at a place where they do it for you, and then they bring it out and you pour an ice cold drink into said ice cold mug or pint and you take a sip. I could just, that's heaven. What is heaven like? I don't know. I'm not dead yet, and hopefully I end up there. But like, I have to imagine whatever the experience is of drinking that liquid out of that glass is exactly what it is. It takes. I want to ascend. I've lived enough life. Oh, that's it. And oh my goodness gracious, I need to do it more at my house. I have the MC Show digital glass. I've got some Jets glass. I need to shove them in the freezer or something and start doing it because it is delicious.
Very good. So that's how Rob, the legend intern finger.
So now get back to your Rob thing over here.
Back to the story. All right. So I knew there's a long, convoluted thing to get to the final finish line of this story. So Paul says, "Hey, you know what? I'm rooting for you Knicks to win the championship this year." The one reason he's probably, when it really is said, not going to be rooting for the Knicks is because Rob, at the end of his internship, again, generous person that he was, serving us all those drinks for all those months, went one step further. He says, "I have one last thing for you guys. Today's my final day. I wanted to give something to you guys." I said, "Rob, you've given us so much already. Please stop spending money. You know, we're not paying you any big bucks here for being here. Please stop spending your money on us. We don't need you to spend any more money on us." He says, No, I had to do this. And he walks in with these 2 champagne bottles in these beautiful white boxes.
Yes.
And he says, "Here's one for you, Paul. Here's one for you, Jim." And he gives us each a bottle of champagne in a beautiful box, which is sitting on that shelf for Paul in my living room on my little trophy shelf as well. And on the side of the box, and this is what Rob said to us on the air. I think, what does yours say on the side of it? I don't know what mine says exactly, but he's bringing it down. This is great. All right. And look, it's got an NBA logo on it. So this is an NBA logoed.
So this is the official. It says it on here, the official champagne of the NBA, and here is the message, right? So at the top it says, "To Paul Boy Green Esden Jr., drink only in victory."
Correct.
And then from Rob Finker and Lurch, I was off.
Here's the story he said on the air. He said,
"I'm
giving each of you guys a champagne bottle, a bottle of champagne. You are not to open this until your team wins a championship." So this is only in championship celebration.
Your team. So
your
team, whatever you
and then
follow.
we defined it right then and there. What do you mean by that? And for me, it is, if the Knicks win a championship, because I've been a Knicks fan forever and was a former season ticket holder, all right, or if the New York Football Giants win a championship. Only those 2 teams. I'm also a Met fan. Other things, nope, those don't qualify. It's the Knicks or the Giants for me. And for Boy Green, it's the Jets or the Celtics. And that year, the Celtics were kind of looking. I was like, "Oh my God, no!"
And they did just win the championship, but that didn't count for whatever this was, right?
And the thought here is, whoever gets to crack that champagne bottle first is the victor between the 2 of us. So I need to drink my champagne before Boy Green gets to drink his champagne. Otherwise it's it's going to be a long.
Because this is very dusty. I'm just noticing.
Dusted. Mine's probably pretty dusty too, because it's on the very top shelf of this thing.
No, that's not why it's dusty, Lord. It's because our teams haven't won a championship.
Well, that too.
But I'm not even making it. I mean, it is literal. I can see it. If I blow, dust is going to fly off.
Don't do that.
Both literally and figuratively. It's because of our teams have not won championships, and I do not dust back there. I guess so. Both.
All right. So there you go. So, if it gets close, I'll definitely put it on ice, so to speak. I'll put that box in a fridge, so to speak, get it cold. Because when I drink it, which probably will be this year when the Knicks win the championship, we'll be good. We'll be good. But Boy Green not getting one, definitely from the Celtics this year.
Well, that's
so I'm the only one in the running right now. And then we'll see what the football season brings. But until one of our teams. So we may have these for a bit. We might still have these for a bit. But the contest is who gets to drink their champagne first.
Fancy champagne. Look at that.
Moet and Chandon. And I'll probably, not only will I drink it, I'll probably spray it all over myself too. That'll probably be a viral YouTube video for me, Boy Green. I'll do a short of me shaking it up, spraying it all in my own face. I'll have to put the goggles on or something.
There you go. You should. It's a Nectar Imperial Rosé.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good. I mean, it looks like it's tasty.
It does. It's from France. 1743.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay. I think that's established in. I don't think that bottle of champagne is from 1743.
I mean, they say that it's good. The longer you wait is better for. I don't know. I've never.
Well, champagne bottles are, they're sealed. They're hermetically sealed, essentially. That's why you get that pop, that unbelievable pop. So champagne isn't going bad if you keep it, if you keep it sealed. So ours are both sealed. Hopefully to be opened sometime soon. I hope.
For you.
I want to be the first one. I got to get him on this one. This is one of those. This is one of those long time things that between the two of us someday we'll solve it. So
it's true.
So be careful. Don't root too hard, Boy Green. Don't root too hard for my Knicks.
Apparently, I didn't even think about that until you brought it back up.
Like, woo, spraying champagne.
That'll be a good video. That'll be a good video.
As I said, we'll do it as a short. There's no doubt. I will have myself, doused in champagne and then drinking from the cup, so to speak. Right out of one of these Manchild. I'll probably I won't even waste my time with a champagne flute. I'll just use these 12 MCs.
Laser engraved.
Right out of there,
Well, this is definitely the greatest gift we've ever gotten from an intern. So super cool. So Rob is in the Mount Rushmore Hall of Fame, all that, no doubt.
Look at this one here from Dunk Floyd. He says, I bet you're wishing Rob had picked the victor of the Snoopy Bowl instead. You're right.
Jets Giants, right. Yeah, have some.
Be a very long wait there.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
not.
true.
Hopefully not. But yeah, we'll have to put those on ice when it gets closer. But I'm not counting my chickens. No way. No way. But certainly things are looking up for my New York Knickerbockers. At least a chance to maybe get to an NBA Finals. I think it's starting to feel like they're the favorites in the East. That doesn't mean anything. I'm not taking any of that for granted. But the way the chips have fallen here, I'm feeling a little that way. We'll see. The Pistons are starting to show a little bit of life too. They won Game 1 in their series as well. So a little bit there on the NBA. And as we said, Knicks and Sixers back on the court at Madison Square Garden tonight. A pivotal game for the Philadelphia 76ers. Not again that the Knicks win 2 at home. It really shouldn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things to the series. But if the Knicks blow them out again, if there's a 10-plus point deal with the Knicks, then you can't be feeling good if you're a Philadelphia Sixer fan, regardless of the fact that they haven't lost a game. That they haven't lost a game on their home floor yet. Because Bud always said, as we've talked about for years, a series doesn't start until a team loses on its home floor. So,
Lurch, sorry to interrupt, but we're getting some memberships in, baby.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Up again. We said we definitely do need to do this. We keep
putting heavy.
I got a Venmo sent in from our boy T-Town Jet.
T-Town back in the fold again.
We still have to set one up for the channel. I told you guys we would do this, and I lied. I'm so sorry. It fell down. I should have done it, but we will get one officially for the
talking about it this week. We'll get it.
Yes. That's on the list. It's not very hard to do. We'll commit to do it so we have it. But in this particular case, give him 5. He just sent in 5 memberships, baby. T-Town Jet. Let's add that to the list. So, Lurch, we need a video, man.
So that's 20. He gets 20 raffle tickets.
20. I will add that to the list.
5 memberships. He's getting 20.
That's it. Yeah.
He's going right near the top of the board, only to be outdone right now by number 1 Austrian
who has 22
right at the moment. All right. So, all right. You're going to do a hell yeah, and I'll do a video. Go ahead.
Yes, please. I got the hell yeah in there. So go ahead and go right to the video.
Oh, you did? I didn't even hear it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Let me pick a nice video here. All right. How about this one? We haven't played this one in a while.
There's one thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win.
What are we waiting for? Take this!
Oh, I love Mickey.
Are you talking to the Knicks? Was that a message from H?
Perhaps it could be underlying thoughts here.
Okay.
About
so
this.
Updated though, T-Town Jet, you're officially updated on the leaderboard in second place. Oh, actually, T-Town Jet already had 2, so he is tied for the leaderboard. I just noticed it on the board, so he is tied with.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Remember, he had one. He put one in on the day we drew, and I said I will put it towards next month.
I'm so sorry.
Tote board heavy again.
Yes.
Green will adjust the tote board heavy. Now a tie for first between number 1 Austrian Jets and T-Town Jet.
My apologies. I just noticed that
lottery. Oh, baby. Let's get the competition on, baby. Let's get it on. Kind of like Boy Green and myself, who's going to get to drink that champagne first? Who's going to get a taste of 2 Jim Boeheim posters and an engraved 12th MC pint glass?
That's true. So I apologize, T-Town Jet. My apologies. I was just looking at the scoring ticker. I'm like, wait, T-Town Jet is in there twice. Oh, my apologies. You were tied for first place. My apologies, T-Town Jet. So excellent. Thank you for sending that in. So yes, Venmo or PayPal is available. We will have it set up officially through the show. Obviously, if you're on the Boy Green channel, you know how it's set up there. But I won't confuse you. I'll make sure that we have it set up here for the MC Show digital channel. By the way, wherever you are watching, because you could be watching the show in a lot of different places, where we want you to go is right there, youtube.com/@MC Show digital. We do a couple of live shows a week. We do a bunch of pre-recorded content. Our Jake Asman interview happened earlier this week, so normally it would be taking place right now, possibly. It's already up on the channel, so our Jake Asman interview talking Jets is up. Adriana is up with the Giants, and we'll have a Bills one out on Thursday morning. And more content beyond that. Survivor, obviously, tonight, and a couple others. So thank you for that Venmo being sent in. And like I said, I promise we'll definitely get that set up for the MC show digital here shortly.
And the schedule tonight for NBA, just so that you know, 7 o'clock, Knicks Sixers at Madison Square Garden. That's game 2. And then 9:30 tonight, you'll get that very delicious and potentially series-altering game between the Timberwolves and the Spurs. I mean, if the T-Wolves can win 2 in a row on the road, Spurs are in big trouble. Big trouble. Despite
so what?
So
are you doing double TV tonight, Lurch, or what are you doing with Survivor
I think
tonight?
I probably I won't be able to because of Survivor. Yeah, that's going to be a bummer. I'm going to have one on the phone kind of thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be a hassle. Oh, man.
At least you get an hour in of uninterrupted
get an hour
NBA.
Get the first half in.
But still,
probably won't even be the first half because they take forever with the pregame
breaks
and
stuff
tip
like
off
that,
at 7:20 or something. Ugh. Yeah,
it's worse.
They drag it on. But yeah, I'll
so
get most of the
teach
first
that
half,
for
and then
sure.
I guess I'll have to adapt. I'll have to
There you
adapt.
go. Adapt or die.
Knicks on in the corner, man. Damn, and the Survivor thing's killing me, man. Killing me, Smalls.
We got a couple more weeks. Yeah,
a couple more weeks. I'm dedicated to it.
So, I appreciate that.
The Knicks are advancing anyway. I've got plenty of playoff games.
Very
confident.
There you go.
As I was, by the way, when they were down 2-1. Okay,
you were. I remember that from Sean.
Go back and watch my interview with Sean Devaney a week back Friday. Go ahead and watch it. Listen to what the Manchild said. I was preaching that day. Okay,
100%.
What I said is, relax, baby. I Aaron Rodgers up there, and I said, R-E-L-E-X, people. Okay, the Knicks are fine. They're going to win this next game in Atlanta. The series will be even. They'll have 2 of 3 left in the Garden. And even if, and I said, and a big if, they go to 7, the Knicks are winning this series. But I don't think they will. But if they do, they'll still win the series in 7. Who cares? Win and move on. That's all you care about.
Real quick follow-up. How many times you quoted Aaron Rodgers in your life?
Very few times. That might be the only Rodgers quote that I have routinely used. Because it does apply to a lot of things, you know.
Sure.
That idea of we're always hypersensitive to the moment.
You're like, whoa.
Prisoner of the moment, as I call it, POM.
Yeah.
And Rodgers had that thing. He was just like R-E-L-E-X. R-E-L-A-X. And
they went on this crazy run. It worked.
Yeah, they were like, just calm down. This is still a whole season.
Overreactions. Yeah.
This is overreaction city. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And then he put on a show. So that was the one thing that Aaron Rodgers did that actually came to fruition, at least in his somewhat latter years. That wasn't that late. I mean, that might have been one of his MVP years, actually.
Could have been
MVP year when he
that
had that quote. So we'll see. And still no decision on Aaron Rodgers, by the way, too. Not that you want to bring him back up for anything, but yeah, still not the man of poor Steelers.
I'm just glad that I'm not on that train anymore.
What a horrible train that is to be on every single offseason with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fun train. Like, I won't lie, 2023 offseason was super fun and exciting. I'm like, ooh, all the possibilities.
Very
and then it crashed.
Yeah. All right. Any other epitaphs on the NBA playoffs, Boy Green? Anything else sitting in your craw there?
I mean, the Timberwolves were something.
Lakers, right? Go ahead.
No. I mean, the Timberwolves were something a couple of years ago. Ant-Man was like at the height of his powers being compared to Michael.
You could find a way?
And no, I don't. I think that was a blip on the radar. I'm not believing it till I see it. The Spurs and Victor Wembanyama and company have been. Some people think if they met up with the Thunder, maybe they could give the Thunder problems. So, I don't see it. But hey, Ant-Man and company use me as motivation. Apparently, if you want more non-believers on the group and you can upset it, it'd be cool. Ant-Man, I'm sure the NBA would love nothing more than for him to be one of the faces of the league. Well, there's one way to do it. Here's the golden Willy Wonka ticket. Go win the championship and take out the Spurs in the process. Take out the Thunder in the process. Oh, yeah, that'll get you on the radar. So good luck to him. But no, I'm not buying it at this point.
And some sad news that I'm just tracking here, Boy Green, as a little bit, I guess, right around the time, a little before we got on the air. I hadn't seen this story yet. Ted Turner, a former owner of the Atlanta Braves, the Atlanta Hawks, the media mogul, the philanthropist. 87 years old, and we have another one goes at 87. John Sterling just a couple of days ago, and now Ted Turner has passed down in Tallahassee, where he was, according to a family spokesman. Turner was battling a terrible disease called Lewy body dementia. It's an ailment that causes a progressive decline in mental abilities with physical signs and symptoms similar to Parkinson's. So that's got to be a terribly debilitating thing. We have not seen him in public for quite some time, and that's, I'm sure, part of the reason why we have not, or probably most of the reason why we haven't. So 87 years old. Ted Turner, a guy that, created TNT.
Yes, right. Very important.
Was spending tons of money with the Braves and making them a winner year after year. Put that pitching staff together of Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox for a while. That was like, whoa, this is crazy. When are these guys going to win a championship? So that's sad news, because he was a guy that certainly had a big impact on the world of sports. So it's been a rough week. Does that mean we're going to get another one? They always come in threes. Oh my God! I hope it's not a third. That's two.
I don't want to speak that into the universe, but I would just say, unfortunately, I've had dementia in my circle of my life, and it is one of the worst diseases on the planet for someone you love to see them when they're sick, and for them to be confused and be angry like I'm a stranger in their house, like I've broken in, but I'm a grandson or anything to this person. So that's the one that hits you in the chops. There's nothing. There's nothing.
Really
I can't. I had that with my great grandmother, and she used to tell me before I left school all the time, like, go get an A for me today. Go get an A. Go get an A. And then to have that my core memories, and then to see her like, who the hell are you? And oof, it just so dementia is a god awful disease. So I'm so sorry.
All diseases are awful, but that
of course,
absolutely right. And I've had firsthand experience with that as well.
Brutal.
It's just brutal for the family. It's brutal for everybody around the person. The person,
I'm sure for the person themselves. I'm sure to look around and not understand you're dropping. I'm not trying to make it about me, but I mean,
someone's here helping you, and you're like, "Oh, you stranger, leave me alone." Meanwhile, it's your wife of 50 years. What?
Right.
Oh, your husband of 50 years. What? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And that happens. It's a terrible disease. So it's very sad to hear that, and very sad to hear that Ted Turner is no longer with us. But well, every year we lose great ones. That's for sure. We lose great ones in the world of sports and entertainment, and it's just lets us know every day how we are. We don't know when our clock is up. We don't know. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Whether you're all the way at 87, where you've probably lived a very long, fruitful life. Whether you're 7. I mean, it's you don't know when our clock is up. So enjoy every day. They say, embrace the day. That's just a great motto. Carpe diem, right? One of my favorite sayings. Carpe diem, seize the day. That's a good philosophy to live your life by, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Period. End of story. You could be at the top of your game, greatest physical shape ever. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Period. End of story. Wow. Maybe we should end on that. It just feels like
probably. I mean, that's I don't know how else
you have any, Boy Green. Final thoughts.
Enjoyed the show. Thank you to T-Town Jet for the gifting, and Austrian, and thank you guys that help support the show. You get your raffle tickets, obviously, to win some cool prizes, hopefully, but also it just helps support the show. So appreciate it. This venture, of doing the MC show digital train has been a lot of fun. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We're, again, as Lord said, we're closing in on a year anniversary. Hopefully we can get to 1,000 subscribers. We're at the last time I checked, 111 subscribers away from reaching that milestone. And then hopefully it's all gravy, baby, from there. And we do a
pass
lot of
on the word to your friends. Pass it along. Let people know we exist. Tell them to please subscribe to the channel. Absolutely free. Easy peasy.
And we'll obviously have Survivor tonight, so stay tuned tonight. It'll be in the 9:35 to the 9:45 range. So somewhere tonight, the episode ends at 9:30, and then we'll be on shortly after that with me, Paul Austin Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green, Jim the Manchild Lurch, and, of course, former Survivor castaway from Season 33, Brett LaBelle, recapping the latest happenings. So you guys watching on CBS or Paramount Plus, the latest episode of Survivor, and then come on over to the digital space for like a post-game recap show. We're just recapping the latest episode and sharing thoughts, funny moments, and things, and it's a super engaging show. So I know there's a lot of shows I do where people are like, oh man, interact with the commenters more. Well, this is the perfect show for that. We interact as much as possible with questions, topics, and all kinds of things. So hopefully people join us tonight.
Looks like it's going to be a 2 TV night for me. One with the sound down. Good thing you can watch sports with the sound down.
That's true.
Nick game on one screen, Survivor on the other.
There you go.
In the Survivor post-game show right around 9:35, 9:40 tonight.
Excellent.
All right, looking forward to it, folks. Thanks to everybody for tuning in today. Again, thanks for the generosity for all those contributing and jumping into the raffle. Still got a little bit of time. Today is the 6th. Again, we will draw on the 22nd, so we'll have a handful of live shows before we do our drawing. Again, the 2 Jim Boeheim posters and the laser engraved glass all going out the door. And we will pick that winner again on the 22nd. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. All right, subscribe, like us. We really do appreciate that. We will see you again tonight for Survivor right around 9:40-ish. Enjoy the episode, and we're back on the beat. Take care, everybody.